Today we'll be covering the second chapter of the Punjab Economic Survey, which is agriculture, allied activities, and rural development. So we've seen the basics in the first chapter itself, which we covered in the last lecture. So going towards agriculture in specific in Punjab. So the share of agriculture and allied activities in GSVA is contributing 31.6% of the total GSVA in 2020 to 21 and employed 24.6% of the workforce. Agricultural yield in Punjab was highest across India for wheat and second highest for rice in 2018-19. So this is a very important point. So Punjab has the highest agricultural yield for wheat and second highest for rice. And moreover, Punjab produces nearly 18% of country's total wheat production, with just less than 12% of the total area under cultivation of wheat at the national level, and the state also contributes almost 11% of the total rice production, while the only 7% of the total area is under rice cultivation. So that is really important that in Punjab there is only 12% of the wheat that is produced. The land falls in Punjab and it produces 18% of the country's total wheat production. And similarly, the area under rice cultivation is just 7% of the national average, basically, and it produces 11% of the total rice produced in the country. In 2020 to 21, agriculture and allied sectors are expected to contribute 31.6% of Punjab GSVA as compared to 28.7% in 2019 to 2020. The crop husbandry sector has the largest share, as expected, contributing more than 17.6% of Punjab GSVA and over half of agricultural GSVA in specific. The share of allied activities has also been increasing in agriculture and the allied activities GSVA. Cropping in Punjab, basically, after Green Revolution period, we have seen that there has been a significant shift in the cultivation of crops, especially wheat and rice in Punjab, Haryana states especially. So in Punjab, basically, 82% of the total area is reported under cultivation for crops. Cropping intensity in Punjab has reached to basically a saturation level of nearly 190% in 2018 and 19, and approximately 91% of the total cultivated land was used for cultivation of food grains, which include cereals and pulses. Cotton was cultivated on 3.2% of the total cultivated land, and sugarcane and fruits each were grown on approximately 1% of the total cultivated area. So this figure is important, especially, and this one also the cropping intensity. The yields of cereals, pulses, and oilseeds in Punjab are higher in comparison to all India, so they are better. There is a better yield for cereals, pulses, and oilseeds in Punjab than the national average. Yield of food grains is highest in the country. Punjab has diverse agroclimatic zones favorable for production of various fruits such as quinoa, sweet orange, guava, etc. And there are 5 citrus estates which have been established. So one is Bhanga in Hoshiarpur, Badal in Sri Muktsar Sahib, Abohar, and Tahliwala Jannah in Fazilka. Top 3 fruits with highest production recorded in 2019. So basically, quinoa, guava, and mango have the highest production in fruits, and the yield is highest in bananas. So this point has been repeated by mistake. Sorry. So the top 3 fruits with highest production are quinoa, guava, and mangoes, and the highest yield is with bananas. About 7.3% of the total registered factories are in food processing industry were available in Punjab, and Punjab was having the 4th highest share, surpassed by Andhra, Tamil Nadu, and Telangana. So allied activities in Punjab. So in Punjab, Punjab Veterinary Vaccine Institute Ludhiana has been upgraded to a good manufacturing practices institute, basically a state-of-art indigenous cattle breeding farm, Gokul Gram at Veer Dosanjh Nabha has been established at basically district Muktsar Sahib, and establishment of fish feed mills is taking place. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana is taking place. 10th and 11th Livestock Championship and Expo 2017-2020 were conducted at Patiala and Gurdaspur. The 12th one will also be conducted at Batala in Gurdaspur. This was conducted in basically 2021. Promotion of shrimp farming and demonstration farm cum training center has been established in Punjab as well. So, as for agricultural inputs, fertilizer usage in 2019 and 2020 was 242 kg per hectare. But this is not very important. This is very important, not just from objective point of view, but more importantly from the subjective point of view. So this is a very good point to show how the land use pattern has skewed the utilization of fertilizers in Punjab. So at an all India level, the ratio of use was 6.3 to ratio 2.5, ratio 1. This is NPK ratio in 2018-19, whereas in Punjab it is 33.1, 7.1, and 1. In Punjab, most of the area under irrigation is under tube wells. This is very important fact to remember from objective point of view. For the 44 blocks in Punjab that have stage of groundwater extraction exceeding 200% has been designated as orange. So due to the excessive water utilization for industries, for agriculture mostly actually, there has been high overexploitation of water and the groundwater is falling drastically and 44 blocks have been designated as orange. Forests in Punjab. So according to land use statistics, state has roughly 5% of its area under forests. Punjab is the state with the second lowest forest cover of 3.67%. Please comment which is the state with the least forest cover in India. More than half of the forest cover, 56% amounts to open forests, implying a canopy density of 10 to 40%. This is not that important, but please comment which is the district with the highest percentage of forests in Punjab. Pani Bachao Paisa Kamao scheme. It is basically a pilot direct benefit transfer scheme being implemented in 6 agricultural feeder areas. The participant farmer gets a fixed allocation of electricity consumption, and if they consume less than that allocation, they receive a benefit of rupees 4 per kilowatt hour of electricity not consumed. So, for example, if they were allotted 100 units, and they used say 90 units, so for those 10 units they will benefit at rupees 4 per unit or kilowatt hour. 53.2% of agricultural households in Punjab have a loan, which is slightly higher than the all India estimate of 51.9 or approximately 52%. So Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana was initiated to improve on-farm water usage efficiency by enhancing adoption of precise irrigation and other water-saving technologies. And this has basically different components. For example, Har Khet Ko Pani, per drop more crop, which includes introduction of water-saving technologies, as well as watershed management that includes effective management of runoff water, as well as improved soil and moisture content. Punjab has the highest storage capacity in India. This is a good point to remember. So this was 6% of the country's total cold storage capacity, which is in Punjab. Punjab has also a well-functioning procurement system. The percentage of produced wheat crop procured was 94.6% in year 2018 and 19, while that of paddy crop was 89% in Punjab. Punjab has produced 11% and 18% of total rice and wheat production of India, and the respective share of contribution of rice and wheat crop from Punjab to central pool, basically the pool that is being collected for public distribution and to run different schemes. So that is 26% and 36% that comes from Punjab. So 26% of the pool for rice comes from Punjab and 36% of wheat comes from Punjab for that central pool. Further, agricultural households, Punjab has a relatively smaller share of marginal and small farmers in comparison to all India averages. While 69% of land holdings are marginal, which means they are less than 1 hectare at the all India level. For Punjab, it is nearly 14%, which is slightly good. Large farms greater than 10 hectare comprise of 5% of Punjab's land holding, whereas at India it is less than or compared to 1%. Agricultural households in Punjab enjoy high incomes and relatively low indebtedness. And the percentage of rural population living below poverty line in Punjab was 7.66% as compared to the national average of 25.7% of rural population living below poverty line. So this is also very good. These are good points to depict agricultural income or agricultural households in answers. And in general also, in general statement based questions, in objective questions, these statements can come not as facts and percentages, but as trends or that, for example, it can be very easily said that the percentage of rural population living below poverty line in Punjab is higher than the all India average. So that statement automatically becomes false. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll meet for chapter number 3, which is industrial development. See you tomorrow.